Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trail Mix, where the nuts might be a little stale, but the company is always fresh.
Greg Crawford here, retired journalist working for nothing but the truth and Social Security checks. And today it is Saturday, the 20th of December, and over at the Kennedy Center, a mile or two away from here. Got a little cold for me to go over there myself, but we're going to be tracking it and getting some chatters in here. But first of all, I caught this fella over at the Kennedy Center yesterday when they unveiled the thing. I think he says it pretty well.
Fascist lunatic tyrant's name on it. It is now time for the good-hearted people of this land to stand up. All you decent people need to rise up, creating a profound political crisis that will actually remove this regime from power. We can do it. We need your assistance. We need your help. Do not wait to participate. Now is the time for everyone to get into the streets and flood D.C., flood your towns, flood this whole country, and remove this fascist lunatic tyrant's name on it. It is now time for the good-hearted people of this land to stand up.
And here was the scene yesterday when they were finishing up the work. They didn't waste any time, did they? I'll go over here in a minute and get the let's see, I'll have to find it, but I'll go get the actual finished product, what it looks like now. But local TV yesterday put a live camera right here on the Kennedy Center where they were covering up the deed with this blue tarp all day long, and then ended up with the finished product. And let's see here if I can maybe get along, move it on down the screen, fast forward through this thing and see if we can see. We get a little closer. Yeah, there's a little closer look. Now they're going to give us an ad. We don't need that. I'm going to go find the, oh no, maybe not. What's he doing? Oh yeah, he's selling something. Anyway, I'm going to go get the actual finished product here in a minute. And, but I guess we'll just go ahead and take a look at one of the news reports that we had on this that give us the background on what was going on. I like this. It's so Trump of him to do it, this one says. And then here we go.
Family, as well as Democratic lawmakers, condemning this change, saying it is illegal and it can only be approved by an act of Congress. But as we saw today, regardless of whether or not it is legal, the board of the Kennedy Center has already gone ahead and done it.
Friday morning, as crews worked behind a blue tarp to add President Trump's name to the Kennedy Center, one Washingtonian showed up with his dog George to protest.
And we should all be shocked that a felon, a convicted felon, and a thug, and by all means a grifter, has just stuck his name on top of a national monument.
President Trump has taken an interest in the Kennedy Center for months now. Back in February, he replaced multiple board members and named himself board chair. He also hosted the Kennedy Center Honors, something no sitting president has done before. President John F. Kennedy's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, says he's outraged by the name change.
My grandparents would be mortified, and rightfully so.
And John F. Kennedy's niece, Maria Shriver, writing on social media, "This is not dignified. This is not funny. This is way beneath the stature of the job. It's downright weird. It's obsessive in a weird way. Just when you think someone can't stoop any lower, down they go." White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt posted on X, the Kennedy Center board made the name change because of the, quote, unbelievable work President Trump has done over the last year in saving the building, not only from the standpoint of its reconstruction, but also financially and its reputation. But several Democratic lawmakers on the board say they tried to object to the name change, but were muted during the board meeting.
We can't just blatantly decide to do something because a rigged board of people who are true and loyal to this president.
We might say we can't, but he did. Question now is, what is anybody going to do about it? I mean, are they going to go to court? Or, I mean, everybody agrees that this isn't legal. What he's done, that
regardless,
Congress named this building, and only Congress can change the name. There it is.
That is the foundation of our jobs, our livelihoods, our careers.
Now, you may recall earlier this month, President Trump also renamed the U.S. Institute of Peace after himself. Workers adding his name to the side of that building as well. In addition, the president has also floated the idea of having the new Commander Stadium here in D.C. bearing his name as well. And the digital passes for the National Park Service feature President Trump's picture. Back to you.
Amy, so in regards to the legality of all this, of changing the name of the Kennedy Center, we know, in fact, that the law that established the center as a memorial for President John F. Kennedy specifically says no additional memorials or plaques shall be installed in public areas. So how do the Democrats respond to this? How do the lawmakers respond to this if this flies in the face of that?
How about
Yeah, Erica. So a group of 6 Democratic lawmakers who sit on the Kennedy Center board put out a statement yesterday saying they will be, quote, unwavering in their commitment to holding the administration accountable. However, they did not specify exactly what that means. For instance, if they plan to file a lawsuit and challenge this action in court.
Exactly. Nobody knows what they're going to do about
clarity on what exactly they were referring to. Guys.
All right, Amy Cho, thanks for that update.
This is the thing that kind of bugs me about the response to Trump always is, we know he's going to do these things. He telegraphs it, and you think everybody'd be prepared, but no. Just like yesterday with all the redactions on the Epstein records, we knew they were going to do that. We had every reason to think they were going to do that. We got some commenters here. Sorry, guys, I haven't been paying attention. Okay. Trump is doing an okay job. Well, tell me how. Tell me what he's doing. It's okay. Hell, I'll take okay. Tell me something he's doing that's just okay. Name one, and we'll talk about it. LOL epic, says Angel Willow. Oh, that's a nice screen name. If anybody wants to get in here and talk, you're welcome to. We got some trail mixers coming in later, I think. I'm up a little early for them watching this protest thing. Close the border. Angel Willow says close the border. All right, I'll give you that. That's fine. So did Obama. The problem with this immigration issue is, for Democrats, is I agree Biden went the wrong direction, opening that border as much as he did. Things were under control with Obama, who had it. The immigration community called Obama deporter in chief because he was pretty tough on it. I mean, you look at some of the stats, and Obama was very effective on border and deportations, and the public was satisfied. But I don't know why Biden went the other direction, but he did, and that's where we are. So I'll give you that. Trump's closed the border. Dark Blade. Well, getting rid of illegal immigrants is one of them, but he's done a lot of bad too and a lot of good. Well, Dark Blade, I got a question on the getting rid of illegal immigrants. Is if that's all they were doing, getting rid of illegal immigrants who are criminals, who are, additionally to having broken the law to enter the country. But a lot of these immigrants are people who've been here 30 years, paid taxes, raised families. Some of them joined the service. I just think there ought to be some hierarchy here of who are the illegal immigrants we want to, as you put it, get rid of, and who isn't. Seems to me that's needs a little more nuance than what we're doing right now, just rounding up everybody and throwing them out without a whole lot of, well, at least the courts are getting involved, and to some extent, the problem is, even with legal immigrants, we are letting too many people in when we don't have the infrastructure for it. Hence why everything is drastically unaffordable now. That's connecting a whole lot of dots, my friend. That you connecting some dots there that seems like a stretch. I don't know that you can blame all these problems on illegal immigrants. I think you got to revisit that question and get into some of the facts. Stuart, well then, they have had plenty of time to become legalized if they have been here that long. Well, I'll give you that. It is a long and expensive process, you know. It takes thousands of dollars because of the intricacies of our system for getting citizenship, and some people just plain can't afford it. But I'll give you that. I mean, we ought to have a system where it's easier for people to legitimately get their citizenship after they've been here 20, 30 years without having to mortgage their house to do it. Anybody on the Kennedy Center issue? Anybody worried about that? I'm not saying it's something that ought to keep you up at night, but it's just awfully weird to me. The man just putting his name on an iconic institution, and with this board voting on it, the board that he had stacked with his own people, and it turns out it's not legal in the first place because Congress named the building, and only Congress can change the name. Oh, let's see. We staying on immigration. Oh, look at the UK. They had stuff affordable before the whole Ukraine and Palestinian refugees came in, and now that they flooded into the UK, everything went up in price and houses being built. You know, I know we got to find causes for our problems, but scapegoating immigrants, I don't really think that's the answer. And I think you got to be mindful that it's a political agenda, particularly the right wing in Europe, to make that case, like Orban and Hungary, to turn the public against democracy and say, well, I'm the strong man. I'm going to fix all these problems. Give me all the power and make me president for life, which Orban in Hungary is getting ready to try to do, it appears. He's already been there for 20 years. I just say watch out for these right-wing politicians, maybe left-wing too, who use the immigration issue to excite the populace against you know, these characters. They have to find somebody for us all to hate, and then present themselves as the protection against the people they've taught you to hate. And I just think that's some of what's going on here, blaming everything on immigrants like that. I don't think the facts hold that up too good. It's one of those things you kind of want to hear or want to believe or sounds good, but doesn't always hold up to scrutiny. Oh, I'm getting used to this comment board, by the way. It's a little hard to use. I've got it on the screen. I don't know if you can even see it on the screen very well, but it makes sense if our government is paying money to compensate these houses being built every minute. They going to want to get their money back somehow. I'm not sure I'm following that one, Stuart. I'm not sure I'm following that point. I don't agree with Trump on some issues, but some are going to be good for the U.S. But I see you're an objective person that will decide issue to issue. I try. I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of Trump as a person. I think he has a monstrous personality and is a horrible role model for our children, which bothers me because I think that is something the president ought to be. And I try to stay with him on some issues, but I don't do a very good job of it, because I think he's ham-fisted and cavalier and acts before he thinks too much. But he's certainly stirring things up, isn't he? He has stirred things up. I covered presidents for many years. I was in journalism for 35 years and covered I guess Reagan was the first president I covered, and here in Washington, and the Washington Bureau of the Orlando Sentinel, Florida paper. Did a lot of work for our parent paper, the Chicago Tribune. Covered a lot of presidents. I've never seen one like this, that's for sure. Whenever Trump says we've never seen anything like this before, I think, yep, that's right. We've never seen anything like you before. If they have to give money to contract these companies to build housing projects to accommodate new immigrants, okay, then the government will have to get the money back from that by raising the cost of living. So they're giving money to companies to build housing projects to accommodate new immigrants. But now I think you got to take into account taxes that immigrants pay. They are taxpayers, you know. We can get over here to my Gemini if you want and ask him. I've got my AI thing here to, when we get stuck on factual things that we want to get into. Let me see if I can. Now I'm back. Okay. Hit the wrong button there. Trying to go to my Gemini. Let's go back over here to Gemini. Get Gemini on the screen. Give me a second, folks. It takes me a little while to punch all these things. And are we on? Do we have Gemini up now? There he is. This is my AI. This is my new AI thing. I'm paying them what is it, $20 a month. It's pretty good. And we're going to ask a question. I'll make this a little bigger. I'm going to ask AI. This is Google's Gemini Pro 3, whatever, artificial intelligence. How do we ask it? How much do immigrants pay in taxes? You can ask pretty basic questions like that and get answers. All right, I'll read this. Demographic. I never heard of that. That's a thing, I guess. Demographic. Anyway, demographic and economic reports from 2024 and early to show immigrants contribute hundreds of billions. Well, I didn't really want a general. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. This is what I was looking for. I just wanted to get this in the discussion. Documented versus, all right, in recent immigrant-led households contributed $525 billion in total taxes annually. About $363 billion goes to federal taxes, $162 billion, And, they even pay into Social Security and Medicare. Immigrants are major contributors to these systems, often paying more in than they draw out. They contribute over $100 billion to Social Security and $27 billion to Medicare. And then, I find this odd that undocumented can also, the misconception is they don't pay taxes, but it is kind of weird. They actually do through these individual taxpayer identification numbers, which is a system where undocumented people pay taxes, and they pay $100 billion in total taxes each year. So, what do we think about that? Does that matter to us? I mean, just to get that on the record, I mean, we've got a situation where people aren't totally freeloading, aren't they? I mean, when they're paying that much money in actual taxes. Oh, it's not BS, Roadrunner. I vetted this thing over and over again. I mean, these, whether it's Chat GPT or Gemini, which are the main ones I've used, I haven't found them. I mean, they make clerical errors on occasion, but I mean, those are facts. I mean, we can go back and dig into the sources if you want, but I'm telling you I've seen that in several different sources, several different ways. Immigrants pay taxes, and they pay a lot of taxes, and even undocumented immigrants pay a lot of taxes. Let's just get that on the table and keep it there, and then we can argue about other things, but don't assume that they don't pay anything and are just total freeloaders, because it's just not true. Well, now, you say, well, what we have here, we got Lone Wolf still don't want to talk about the $9 billion in fraud. Are you talking about the governor there, that case? I mean, that looks like it's being investigated, and we'll get the facts on it. Tim Waltz, I assume you're talking about. A migrant with an ITIN are not undocumented, though, technically. Well, I get that. I mean, they're documented to the extent they can pay taxes, aren't they? They're just not documented as citizens. Mitch Fearing. You might want to get on here and talk live. I'm fine with doing the comments, but I have to punch around this thing, and sometimes I miss some of you because of the way it scrolls. Okay, Angel, doesn't make any difference that immigrants pay taxes. Has nothing to do with our discussion. And $9 billion in fraud is what Democrats love. They do. And how do they do without a legal social? I agree, Roadrunner. I've always thought that's odd, but we do have this system, this what this thing was telling us about here, the ITIN card, individual taxpayer identification. You can get that despite not having a Social Security. It happens that it's there. I've always thought it's kind of odd too, but it's real. It's not about legal immigrants. It's about illegal immigrants. Yeah, I agree. One thing you got to understand about this illegal immigrant business is, hang on, Scott, I'll get to you about this illegal immigrant business is that, the thing is, we have not updated our federal immigration laws in any real way since Ronald Reagan, folks. I mean, let that sink in. We have a system for seeking asylum, for seeking citizenship that is ridiculously outdated, underfunded, understaffed. We don't have enough judges, so that the process, if you want to become a citizen and you've gotten here, and I agree, coming here illegally is illegal, and they got here. But the process, and in some cases, they did come here legally with green cards, and that they properly got, and then those expired. And that's many of the people we now call illegal immigrants actually came here legally, but their green cards expired, and the system is so crazy that converting that into real citizenship is horribly difficult. And there have been efforts. I give George W. Bush credit. He tried to update in a serious way our immigration system. And Democrats were with him and moderate Republicans, and guess who stopped it? The Republican conservatives who don't want a legal path for citizenship for any of these people. And so long as we have a system that basically prevents that, we're going to have a lot of illegal immigrants, a lot of them who came here legally, green cards expired, would love to become legal, and the system's just too damn difficult. I wanted to see something here, Scott Osage. I work construction. They get paid cash and are not paying taxes. Yeah, some do. I agree with that. But, the anecdotal evidence is true on what you're saying, but the aggregate evidence is says otherwise. That they're paying back over here. Looking back at our numbers, undocumented immigrants pay nearly $100 billion in total taxes each year. And then we go back up here to just all immigrants, documented and undocumented. That's $500 billion, folks. Documented and undocumented immigrants at $525 billion in total taxes paid annually. There's no real getting around that, is there? There's still plenty to argue about, but I just want to say that ought to be on the table. Let's see. Stuart, your opinions have a heavier weight on working Americans that believe in the rule of law. Someone, I think there needs to be a limit on immigration. It's a serious question. Does everyone in the world have a right to live in the USA? That is a serious question. I agree. The thing is, and we can have limits, but we need a process that makes more sense, because I don't think you're saying, or hope you're not saying, we shouldn't have any immigrants. We wouldn't be much of a country without immigrants, would we? And I think a lot of our jobs that they take, a lot of Americans don't want to take. I don't know how many of you want to go out and pick fruit, but I don't. And the annual net cost of illegal immigration is estimated. Now, when you say something, okay, all right, let's take that right there, my friend. And you might be right, but let's ask. The annual net cost of illegal immigration. What is the annual net cost of illegal immigration? Okay. Let me put that to the question, to the answer man here. What is the annual cost of? Now let me go back and look at that again. How did you say that? What is the annual? I lost you. Oh, the annual net cost of illegal immigration to U.S. taxpayers. What is the annual net cost of illegal immigration to U.S. taxpayers? That's an interesting question. Let's see. That's what this thing's made. See, we're on this thinking mode. I pay extra for this, so it's not like a Google search. It actually thinks about what I'm asking, and it shows you its process, its launching tool, its initiating response. That was pretty quick. Estimating the net cost is a subject of significant debate. How about that is? Figures vary widely. As of late 2024 and early 2025, here are the primary competing estimates. See, that's what I like about this thing. It doesn't give you, if there's a bunch of different, disputes about an answer, it gives you all of them. All right, groups that advocate for stricter immigration controls. All right, this will be the baseline of the higher number, I imagine. FAIR, okay, I've heard of them. Federation for American Immigration. That's one of the, advocates of stricter restrictions on. Their most recent major study estimated the fiscal drain at roughly $182 billion annually after subtracting $31 billion. Now, right there, you see that's a very low number on the estimate of taxes that immigrants pay. Anyway, after subtracting $31 billion, they reported a net cost of $150. Okay, friend, let's go give you some credit. Yes, lone wolf. Okay, yes. You said here it is estimated around 150. Now, what we got to point out is that your 150, which you're correct about, comes from a source, the Federation of American Immigration Reform, which is one of the leading groups advocating stricter laws. So we can assume they're rigging the numbers. I don't know. They had an incentive, it seems, since they're on one side of the issue, to do that. Maybe rigging is too small a word. Shaping the numbers to their preferred conclusion. But anyway, let's talk about what are the cost drivers. Education for undocumented children. Okay, education. This is that same study, estimated $78 billion. Healthcare emergency services, $25 billion. That's because they don't have health insurance, I reckon. Anyway, now let's look at some of the other groups. Let's kind of get the spread, okay? The American Immigration Council. Now that's a group that, see, they're already saying this is a group that's more supportive of immigrant rights. So they're going to shade their numbers the other direction. And boy, do we see some shading here, don't we? Now this group is saying immigrants kick in $100 billion in total taxes. Now we go back up here to the other group, and they're saying 31. So we've got a difference here between the two groups on either side of the issue. One saying immigrants kick in a $31 billion in taxes, and then we got the other one saying that immigrants contribute $100 billion. We got a big difference there. Now, as an old journalist who's covered a lot of these fights for decades, the CBO is one that I always kind of pay some attention to more than others when I need to get a sense of what might be in the middle of a debate. And they're projecting an immigrant surge would actually narrow the federal deficit by $1 trillion. That's an interesting point. So they're arguing or saying that that immigrant paying taxes can actually narrow the deficit. It's an interesting point of view. Congressional Budget Office, they approach things more from the macro because that's how Congress wants it, because they're making macro decisions with legislation and so on. Anyway, the conclusion we got here from this Gemini that presented all the different views is that most analysts agree the federal government sees a net fiscal surplus from undocumented immigrants via the Social Security and Medicare they can't pay. See, they can't collect Social Security and Medicare, but they pay taxes into it. So anyway, that's a net gain right there. And then, but they say state and local governments bear a net deficit due to the cost of schooling and emergency room care. Well, that's an interesting notion there, that at the federal level, immigrants aren't a drag on our finances because they pay in taxes, but they don't collect the two big payouts of federal government, Medicare and Social Security. But at the state level, there's a deficit. They collect more in schooling and emergency room care than they pay in taxes. So anyway, I'll get back to you guys. It got me on that detour. Where are we now? We're at 34 minutes. No, I don't think that's true, First Amendment USA. I've been using AI. I use both Well, anyway, I'll read you. You're saying AI is proven to not know the difference between truth and a lie. I just don't find that to be the case. I mean, you're discrediting this entire discussion based on that, but I don't think that's been the case that I've found. I mean, I've done a lot of researching over the years in my work, and I can spot these things. And when I use AI and I compare Chat GPT and Gemini, I have accounts with both, and they usually line up. And I have not found any such thing as you're saying, that they don't know the difference between a truth and a lie. I'd say that's the job of humans. humans are the ones who often don't know the difference between a truth and a lie. No, I'm not ignoring all the others, Mitchell Fearing. I was pointing out that the I don't want to say it, the advocates of strict immigration laws were estimating $30 billion that immigrants pay in. And then I pointed out also from my AI research, he presented both, that the advocates of immigrant rights say that there's $100 billion that they kick in. And I'm just pointing out that difference. And so somebody's fudging, and probably both. So I'm not ignoring all the others. Yeah. Well, I think we've run this one into the ground. I'm going to get back to the Kennedy Center if y'all are interested, and see. Here they are. Here they are actually putting the letters up. Let's take a look at that. We see that? Yeah. There they are actually putting Trump's name on the Kennedy Center. Does anybody have an opinion about that? I'm still getting over the shock of it myself. I just don't understand why he wants this so bad, and what it accomplishes for the world at large. It's not legal. I mean, you go back and look at the federal code on this. In 1964, Congress created this Kennedy Center, and in the legislation they said its name will be the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, and allowed no way to change that or add to it or anything else. It's pretty clear it would take an act of Congress to do what he's doing right here. But that isn't the first time this president's done that. See, this is one of my issues with Trump, is this business of just doing things before anybody's figured out whether it's legal or not. I mean, he gets points for being an active president, I guess. But when it comes to the rule of law, he seems to be a little skimpy. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Stuart. The Kennedy Center issue is not a surprise. It's the weeds he drags you through. It's meaningless to most Americans. Yeah. It's just weird. It's just plain weird to have a president who wants to do this kind of stuff, meaningless or not. creepy. I'd even call it creepy. Go over here and see what we got in the way of coverage on this.
Over the last several months about those experiences with those federal officers, questions from our own residents about what that means for our local Metropolitan Police Department, and
some local news coverage,
disturbing incidents of neighbors who have been taken by ICE, and has been very hard for our community to locate them. And so this letter that I sent today, that was signed by every one of my council colleagues, was really an effort to get to the bottom of what is going on with the federal.
Yeah, that's a local issue we have here in DC with people, well, other places where they're just picking up people and their family can't find them, don't know where they are. They're not seeing lawyers, and it takes a few days to figure out what's going on. And in some cases, by the time they locate them and get to a judge and get an order to have them released because there were no grounds to detain them in the first place, they've sent them to another country. And then it all gets even more complicated. But anyway, that's what's happened. Yeah, Mount Rushmore, Stuart, you're right. That Christy Nome, when she was governor, before he put her on the cabinet, she talked about that, putting him on Mount Rushmore, and I swear I would not put it past him. Everybody said when he took office this time, I kept saying he's going to rename the Kennedy Center. I thought he would just take Kennedy off it altogether. And this one's coming, mark my words, he's going to name Dulles Airport after himself. I'm completely convinced of that. Now I want to say to y'all here, we've got a fun site at trailmix.cc where we have a lot of good commenters, and you can go see it right now. Go there, and I make it pretty easy for people to comment. Here they're having a discussion right now. Sometimes they get busy talking to themselves, talking there, and don't get over here and talk to me on this live YouTube stuff. But this is Pat D, one of our regulars. I make it real easy to comment on this thing. You go to trailmix.cc. I couldn't get .com, but CC kind of works out since my name's Craig Crawford. And you go to trailmix.cc and go down to the comment box there and click it. You can go in as anonymous. I don't ask for your email address or anything really. You just can make up a name. All I ask for is a name, and you can make that up. And there's a little CAPTCHA, but I made the CAPTCHA about as easy as it can get. You just type in a number, 3 numbers, because I have to do that to keep the Russians out. But anyway, here's what Pat D surfaced for us. This is the actual code. Now she's pulled up a different code than what I was thinking. This is a code on the desecration of federal monuments. Okay, Pat, she's gone a different direction. I thought she was pulling up. There's an actual code on the naming of the Kennedy Center, which makes it clear only Congress can change the name if it's to be changed. Oh, there's Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Hans.
Oh, we're having a good time with some commenters here. We've got a fella here, Stuart. Can you see those comments?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, Stuart Gorham. Stuart's been on here. We've been going back and forth on some stuff, immigration. They're not calling me too many names. We're getting along.
I like it. He says you're being respectful, which you usually are, which I try to be and sometimes fail.
Well, respect begets respect. It's like it's a two-way street. But I was just doing a pitch here to folks. You know, even if they want to disagree with us, you know, I'm really eager to get more commenters on Trail Mix because we're just sort of a hidden gem on the internet.
Yes. The one thing I would really like to get across to all of the people who have differing opinions is that for me, this is not about left, right, particular issues, none of that.
Yeah.
What it is for me is being factual, stating the law as it exists, and it's specifically with Trump continually breaking those laws.
Well, and what I don't like is, and what I've been used to with past presidents, when they want to stretch the limits, you know, Biden did this and so did Obama with his executive orders on the Dreamers, for example. You know, he issues an order, it gets challenged, it goes to court, and then he waited until the courts ruled, you know, before doing whatever he ordered. That's the norm, you know, when presidents do things is they respect, and unfortunately the courts take a long time, but they respect the court's role and wait for a decision before they move ahead. And this is what bugs me about Trump. He just does these things and then waits for everybody to catch up. I mean, in this Kennedy Center, it might not be a big deal, you know, to the.
But the whole East Wing of the White House is a big deal.
Well, that's another one. That one is actually a little murkier on the legal front than the Kennedy Center.
I know, but I like our three-part government with Congress, executive, judicial.
Yeah.
And they each have a role, and those roles need to be respected.
Yeah, it's that little thing called checks and balances. And unfortunately, it's one of the great geniuses of our system of government. I mean, there were a lot of things I'm not crazy about with the founders of the country, and, you know, particularly slavery and women's rights. They fell down on that, but they designed something very creative for the time. And that was the checks and balances you're talking about, having the three co-equal branches of government. And you know what? People don't appreciate it because they're not getting taught about this in schools. I mean, checks and balances is not something that's on the agenda in curriculums because they don't have civics. A lot of it is because school systems are afraid to have civics classes anymore because there's so much argument about what should be taught that they just say, well, we'll just teach math instead. That's easier.
Yeah, you know, we've been around now for 250 years. And all of those arguments and changes and alterations have pushed us more and more in balance with each other as differing opinions. It may take a while. There are things I've disagreed with. There are things I've adored that got changed. And I want that back. I want that system working.
Stuart says, we are Americans. The battles that occurred in the first Congress were extreme also. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There were congressional congressmen who beat each over the head with.
I was just going to say, you know, that was, I actually have a whole video I did on that one. The guy that got beat up in the South Carolina, I think it was South Carolina, John C. Calhoun, I believe it was, that beat up the New York senator.
Right. And Rachel Maddow right now with Burn Order has the whole business about Japanese internment and everything that got covered up or left out or didn't go the way it was supposed to. And it's just now that all of those details are coming to light. and she names names and who did what, when, who, why.
Yeah.
So it's worth listening to, whatever you think about the issue.
Yeah.
So yes, Trump really bothers me because he does just barrel ahead and do things without waiting for good judgment and advice.
I'm just putting some addresses here in for folks to see if, just saying here, if you want to, that's the link for joining the chat here.
History buff like us. Yay.
What's that?
Stuart.
Oh,
yeah.
Stuart, I'm putting our address here, trailmix.cc, on here. You seem like somebody who would enjoy chatting with all our gang over there. Now, speaking of history buff, I'm getting the part of the Ken Burns series tonight that I've been looking forward to is the Battle of King Mountain in North Carolina. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
You are? Oh,
yes.
I'm so impressed. I mean, I had to look it up on my ancestry.com. My fifth great grandfather, John Hyatt was his name, fought in the Battle of Kings Mountain. and he got a Kentucky land grant for it. And he lived in Virginia, but fought in that North Carolina battle. A lot of Virginians did. And ended up with 500 acres in Kentucky, which sounds like a good thing, but it was 500 acres nobody else wanted.
Well, you and I are probably going to end up being distantly related because that whole branch of my mother's family is Virginia and Kentucky.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm sure we are. I'm sure we are. That would not surprise me.
Much smaller populations being what they were.
Yeah. That would not surprise me a bit. I'm on the hunt now I'm going to go find my my fifth great grandfather's. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, geez. My fifth great grandfather's land grant.
Well, if you turn up any Rose, Walters, or McKeons in yours, then you're in mine somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, here it comes. We're add file now.
Stuart, you are right to be proud of your daughter. That's the way it should be done.
Oh, what is Stuart?
His daughter is a history teacher.
Oh, good. Oh, Lordy. I'm all for teaching and learning history because I'm worried about as a history. Well, in my college, we didn't have majors and minors technically, and but I essentially, I split it pretty even between history and English, with a smattering of political science. But I couldn't major in political science because there was too much math. My daughter is to teach history without her students knowing that her political leanings are. Yeah, I know. I just think it's horrible how teachers are under pressure, and especially history teachers, any kind of civics teachers, they are just so under the gun these days on, if they talk about, I wonder, how does she teach slavery, Stuart, for example? I mean, nowadays it's just dangerous for a history teacher to talk about slavery. I think, you got to be so careful.
I just saw a quote recently where it says ICE is getting signups are getting a $50,000 bonus and salary that is way beyond what any teachers get. We need to reverse things.
and they dropped they've dropped the educational requirements for ICE.
Yes.
You don't have to have a college degree. You don't even have to have a community college degree. You could just have a high school degree. Maybe that's okay. I don't know, but that's what they're doing.
But yes, teachers should get the $50,000 bonus, the higher salary.
Now, this is my 5th great grandfather's Kentucky land grant. Isn't that cool?
That is neat. Yes.
So I'll get a couple of these things off the screen here that are getting in the way.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Read his last comment.
Oh, I put him off the screen. Oh, here. Where are we done? It's so hard to keep up with these comments.
Oh, it's my youngest daughter is a registered nurse.
Go ahead.
My youngest daughter is a registered nurse. She is there to clean up the blood between the family argument. Can you get rid of your tree?
No? Yeah, I've got to go back to that. Every button is in a different place. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, now you've got the comments within your site. Cute.
Oh, I do? Where? What do you mean?
Well, they're right under me. The comments from the comment site are on the screen.
Yeah, I've got those. I'm still learning how to do this. I've made them a little bigger. It's so much easier if people would just come out here and talk to us. You know, I like getting the comments and trying to respond, but you can't believe with this screen how complicated it is to do. And it's impossible if I'm on my phone using this on my phone. I can't read comments at all. So.
Yeah, I know one of the people on my Armstrong side or something ended up in the Senate. So
none of my ancestors did anything except farming, and I mean, I can't find any of my ancestors who did anything at all impressive.
Well, that's all of my the Walters side. Remember, we were talking about slave schedules and everything. He's the one that I found that was a fairly good sized farmer. But yeah, almost everybody on my tree falls under Ag Lab.
Yeah. Well, I did have one who founded a bluegrass festival, the Renfro Valley Barn Dance, and became a nationwide radio star, John Lair, Renfro Valley Barn Dance in Kentucky. He actually became kind of a well-known person in his sphere.
Well, if I go back to where we're descended from the founders of Maryland, there I have some kind of nobility guys like the McCubbins and the Howards and whatever, but they're the only, second and third sons of nobles who moved to the U.S. to be able to get rich.
Oh yeah. I'm going to go see if I can find any live coverage of let's see, what time is it? Yeah, it's about 11 o'clock. They should be cranking up that Kennedy Center protest.
Oh, okay.
And I got distracted. The commenters here got me all distracted on immigration earlier, and I lost track of what I was doing, which is fine. But I can't shoot. I don't see anything current. Oh, I know what I was doing. I need to check the live feeds of the local news. See what
she doesn't. Okay, he's answering you about the slavery.
Oh. Yes, I'm out. Okay. Well, you go ahead and read it while I look for this.
Okay, it says, my daughter will not shy away from teaching slavery issues. I, being a Southern boy, may not agree with her on all of it. You're chatting here with two people who do have some relatives that owned other people, and we don't argue with facts. We just deal with them as they come.
Yeah. My ancestors, of course, my ancestors in Kentucky, there weren't a lot of slave owners there.
Here we come in with a new commenter, Arian Blitzkrieg.
Oh, that sounds good.
History. Yeah, what a name.
That sounds like a winner. You go ahead. I'm looking for coverage of this protest if you want to interact with them for a minute.
Okay, you do that. I'll look at the commenters, what they're saying.
What's the Aryan guy saying?
Oh, and let's see, Arian, well, he said don't watch history. So then we picked up a new one that said 3,776 Black people owned slaves. Yes, we are aware of that.
I wasn't aware of that. Tell me about that.
Oh, you weren't aware of that?
I wasn't.
Yeah. Several Black, quite often what they would do if they got freeman status is buy their family.
Really? I did not know that. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the ways they were able to keep their families together, is if a free relative would go and buy various members and then they could manumit them.
Gemini's giving me can go to right now.
Why is that an insult? Not quite. Okay.
Have you insulted somebody, Jamie?
Now we have gradual decay. It was a Black man who had slavery put into law in the U.S. and had it made a life sentence also. Anthony Johnson. Okay, this is something I am not aware of and will have to go look up.
I can't find anything.
Now, if we could only get these people on the website or here so we can talk to them directly.
I agree. We're accommodating of people that even if we think they're wrong.
Okay, one moment. Okay, there's several Anthony Johnsons that were, colonist, 1600 to 1670, who was from Angola, who achieved wealth in the colony of Virginia. Okay, held as an indentured servant. He earned his freedom. He later became a tobacco farmer in Providence, Maryland. So there's a whole wiki page on him.
Huh.
And fought to own an African slave, John Casser. Okay, so there is definitely a chunk of history that neither of us knew about.
Huh.
Maryland state government curriculum. Yes.
I guess my question is, what does that prove? That
doesn't prove anything. It just happened. He wanted to keep his property.
Yeah. That Ken Burns series is really
there was a definite division between indentured and lifetime slavery ownership, and in the South there were a great deal of argument about not having indentured because that conflicted and made the lifelong slaves unhappy. And there's a lot of laws in that area. Oh, and the slave was a white man. Okay, probably an indentured servant that he didn't want to lose.
You're saying a Black man had a white slave? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. No, well, an indentured servant that he wanted to keep.
Well, I'll be darned. Well, I should have gone over to that. I thought I could be lazy and get that protest online here. I could have gone over there myself.
Okay, Gradual, we understand the difference between indentured and slavery. So we're okay there. And yes, it is an interesting piece of history and the laws surrounding it.
Well, one of the interesting things about Ken Burns' series, I thought, was that I'd always known this to some extent, but it's more than I thought, is how much the colonials, how many of them were actually, particularly the South, of course, Virginia, their revolt was about protecting slavery. And the reason for that is that the British started offering freedom to slaves to come over and fight with them, and many did. And that is the moment, that may have been a very big tactical mistake on the part of the British, because a lot of the Southern plantation owners were kind of iffy about the whole revolution thing, and they did a lot of trade with Britain, and so they were not super supportive of the revolution. But when Britain started freeing slaves, that provoked the potential for slave revolts, and that's when the rich plantation owners kicked in to the revolutionary movement with money and everything else, and that was a big turning point that helped us win the revolution. Was slave owners deciding it was to their benefit to fight Britain all of a sudden. I found that so interesting. I'd always kind of heard that. I had a history professor who always made that case, and we thought he was just kind of stretching the truth. But this Ken Burns series dug into that pretty deeply. Now, what are we going on here?
Okay, you really should take the time to read that whole wiki article on Anthony Johnson. It brings up all sorts of issues. It's fascinating.
Huh. Anthony Johnson.
Yeah, it's Anthony Johnson and then in parentheses, colonist, because there's a fighter named Anthony Johnson, so you have to get to the right page.
Even the organizers of this protest are not posting anything. I'm kind of stunned by this. I don't understand what, because Chris Van Hollen was supposed to speak, and here's an X. Here's an X. Somebody posting on X. See what they got. February 6th. That's not going to be any good. Huh. Well,
it's posted from 12 hours ago.
The protest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, they've been doing them for weeks now. They've been doing regular protesting there, but they had a special one
right after the sign went up.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about even before that, when he started taking over the Kennedy Center and changing the venue.
Oh yeah, they did dances and everything.
Right. Yeah. Right.
All sorts of protests.
And so this one was going to be specific to the naming, and I'm sure it's going on. I'm just surprised at how
nothing on CNN or.
No, I was counting on locals to cover it. If anybody out there can find coverage of the Kennedy Center protest going on right now, even if it's somebody on social media or Instagram or X that's posting some live video of it. I can put it on here, but I'm having a heck of a time finding it.
See if I can find anything on YouTube.
And well, I didn't even think to check C-SPAN. Let's see. I don't think they were going to do anything. Oh, they're doing the Revolutionary War Southern Campaign on C-SPAN right now. Let's see what they're doing.
Yeah, Burns is getting some backlash on some of the things that he included or didn't include.
Oh, I know. When I saw it, I thought he was probably going to. Now here's while we wait for somebody to find coverage of the ongoing Kennedy Center protest, here's C-SPAN on the Southern Campaign and the Revolutionary War. I'll put that on in the back. Oh, Kings Mountain National Military Park. I've been there. That's where my fifth great grandfather fought, in the Kings Mountain.
Stuart, you were absolutely right. His comment right now. That did occur in that period of history. There were white slaves that were indentured. There were also black slave owners, but slavery was a dark stain on our history, but one our system worked through. And that's basically what we've been talking about.
Yeah, it just took 100.
It's been 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but at least up until recently, we kept going forward.
I mean, once Jim Crow kicked in, then it took us 150 years to work through it, but we did. There's a reenactment of the of one of the
Kings
battles,
Mountain.
Southern battles. I don't know if that one's Kings Mountain or not. That one's Camden, South Carolina.
Camden, yeah.
A lot of people, I mean, this much I knew in the Ken Burns series. What we've been doing is every night we watch a half hour, because it's 6 2-hour episodes. You watched it, so and so every night we watch about a half hour, and the way we time it is we light our menorah candles, and when we watch it until the menorah candles burn out, which is about all we watch. And so it's taking us a long time to get through 6 2-hour episodes, but I like it that way and tonight we stopped it last night right as the North Carolina campaign began. So that's what I'm going to be watching tonight.
That brings up a question. You can answer it here or on the blog later. Did you convert to Judaism or
No. I just like all their traditions. I love playing with the menorah. I love making the food, the latkes.
So you got your latkes in this year.
I haven't done them yet, but I will. Yeah. But no, David calls himself we traded. He's tried to learn how to become a Southern moderate. He's Boston born and educated at the University of Pennsylvania. But now he's trying to be a Southern moderate, and I'm trying to become an Eastern European Jew. So we're teaching each other how to trade places.
Yeah, I've got kind of a similar history, and that I was. Well, I had a really checkered upbringing with different towns virtually every single year, and some years got crazier than others growing up. But so I've been through just about every conceivable religion that went with it, depending on where I was, who I was with, or when I was with. And so I got married Catholic, divorced, and wandered around through a bunch of them and started studying Judaism. But I've got a son named Christopher who also considered that possibility, and as an adult decided it would be way too painful. That's about as nice as I can phrase that.
Oh, I found somebody hollering. Here's somebody hollering. Where are the people? Where is Congress?
Oh, Stuart Gorham was a detective. You really have to get on the website, Stuart.
Yes. I think we found a trail mixer if we can just convince him.
Yeah, he's perfect for trail mix.
This guy's worked up. Here's somebody hollering. Man's name on this building. I want to film this for my kids and my grandkids. Oh, he's out walking his dog and screaming at the Kennedy Center. This is America. I like this.
Democracy has died in D.C.
Then we had another one here. Let's see.
Fascist lunatic tyrant's name on it. It is now time for the good-hearted people of this land to stand up. All you decent people need to rise up, creating a profound political crisis that will actually remove this regime from power. We can do it. We need your assistance.
I just love a man in a Santa hat calling for a revolution. That is special.
We need your help. Do not wait.
Yeah, but if all of our same Democrats are protesting every time someone says impeachment, it's a no, don't mess with the midterms. Shut up, be quiet.
Yeah. Well, I do think I mean, why not? I think if Democrats can, I mean, I say make that a midterm campaign issue, is get Democrats in control of the House and we'll impeach him again. Why not? 3 times. Why not?
Sure.
3 times a charm.
But you got to get there first, and I guess they don't want to mess with it.
I'm saying it's a way to get some votes for it. You know, get people,
Might be.
or at least fire up the base to get out and vote for Democrats. So then we can, and it's not really just that. I mean, one reason you're going to see Trump and the Republicans just pull out all the stops to keep Democrats from getting any part of Congress, control of Congress, is they know that all the investigations will begin. We'll start looking into, we'll get hearings on why is Jared Kushner sitting on $5 billion from the Saudis? You know, what was that for? I mean, all kinds of stuff. The crypto crimes, and I mean, some of this crypto business is so stinky. I mean, there's a lot to investigate that's not getting done so long as Trump controls House and Senate.
Okay, I got to talk to Stuart for a minute. Stuart, that is exactly what makes you perfect for the website, not just the chat. You need to come over and find some like-minded people. We've got a mix over there. It may lean left, but you would be welcome.
It's pretty easy. I swear I've worked very hard with my AI coding partner. We have made it so easy to comment on the trail mix. It's ridiculous. You know.
And you're very good at herding the cats.
It really is so easy. I mean,
Anon gets his feathers ruffled all the time, accuses us of trying to drive him out. We keep saying, nobody's sending you anywhere. Just keep commenting.
Yeah. You talking about Anon? Are you talking about? Yeah.
Yes, Stuart, it's perfectly okay. We do actually have some Republicans there. He says he leans conservative.
Well, yeah, but these days there's a difference between a thinking conservative and whatever some of these MAGA people are. I mean,
yes.
I mean, part of the thing that I have conservative Republican, what I call traditional conservative Republican friends who've been Republicans all their lives, and they believe in small government and all those things. And I just feel like Trump has conned nobody more than conservative traditional Republicans into thinking that he's one of them. You know, it's just I'm just pointing out here, if you go to trailmix.cc on this
I'm too objective to be MAGA. Yes, we know.
Yeah, that's my point. Is there are many people like Stewart out there who I kind of feel sorry for, because they don't have a party anymore. I mean, the Republican Party has left them. They don't want to be Democrats, so I don't know what they're supposed to do.
We have the same problem with some of our far left people. Not quite as bad, but yes.
Yeah. There's the page I'm looking for. Now, why isn't it on the screen here? Oh, it is on the screen. Oh, okay.
Yes, it's on the screen.
Oh, okay.
You come find us, Stuart. We're happy to have you.
Well, I just want to point out, because I work very hard at creating this comment box with my AI partner, because now that I have AI to help me, he can write code, HTML code that I cannot do. And so we can customize the site, because WordPress is great, but it has, WordPress is kind of like playing checkers, I mean, you're just limited on all the things. But when you get AI involved and you can write your own customized code, then I can say, I want to do this or that or the other, and it writes the code. And WordPress is good about having ways for you to customize your code. You just have to know how to do it,
Yes, I'm doing that with my blog right now. And
it's a nightmare.
My poor AI is dealing with a complete idiot.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about AI. It's just a computer, so it has no feelings. So, you can yell at it and it doesn't.
But I do still thank him.
Yeah. But I just want to point out, the way I've set this up, and anybody comes to our site, I do say name is required, but you can make up one. It doesn't have to be your real name. So I'm not asking for emails or websites. And then, if you're already registered, you can log in, or if you're new, you can register. If you want to register, you can click register here and go register, and then you can have a permanent screen name and a password, and put on your own avatar and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yes, Stuart. Some of the MAGA people are starting to wake up.
And then you come down here and you see the only thing that's required is a name, and you could just write, XXX if you want, anything. And then the only other thing, I have to have a CAPTCHA. I made it as easy a CAPTCHA as there is available. It's just 3 numbers. It's all it is, 3 numbers. And that helps us keep the bots out and keeps the Russians out. And
right.
So, I don't know how this could be any easier. And you just go to trailmix.cc. And
in fact, I copied your part about civility to show it to my AI guy. Yeah. And right now we're trying to get it inserted into my blog. So I'm stealing from you.
Oh, absolutely. I see here Ivy's posted her latest meme. We have I didn't mean to say, was that Ivy or is that Rebellious Renee? I don't know. They both put memes on. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Is President Trump expected to rename San Andreas Fault to Joe Biden's fault? That's a meme.
That is a funny one.
Yeah, that's from Rebellious Renee. She tried to come on yesterday. I'm gonna get on here and tell her. Renee, try again if you can. We are in the chat room. trailmix.cc/chat, or this one gets a little more complicated, but the direct link to the chat room, to this platform is right here.
Put that over on Blue Sky just so everybody could see it.
Yeah, I put notices on Blue Sky and X, and CAPTCHA cannot be empty. Oh, I forgot I wasn't logged in when I did that. I was sitting here showing. Well, here, I'll just go ahead and make up. Let's see. Well, I'll just go ahead and I can just put Craig on here. And because, see, I'm not actually logged in right now. This will show how easy it is to comment. All right. So I put this comment up here to Renee, telling her we're in the chat room and asking her to try again, because she tried to come in yesterday. And then you just 3 numbers for the CAPTCHA, 329, bang, and you're done. How could that be any easier? Anyway, go back over here to get us some more protesters.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, here's something. Oh, okay. Here, Fox 5. Oh, here we go. We got some live coverage now, finally. Here we go.
Donald Trump.
This is
his name
Chris Von Holland,
the
Maryland.
Kennedy Center.
This is live at the Kennedy Center.
Of John F. Kennedy. Shame. And we are here to say that this desecration of the Kennedy Center will not stand. Mark my words, whether it's a matter of weeks or months, Donald Trump's name will come down.
How? What are you going to do about it? This is what I've been waiting for somebody to tell me.
I know that because the American people won't stand for it.
They keep saying it's not going to stand, but I don't hear anybody telling me how they're going to do it.
It was taken by the board. This board that was handpicked by Donald Trump conspired to violate the law, and they need to be held accountable too.
How?
Because the law is very clear that this memorial was named after John F. Kennedy.
Yes, that's right.
One of my earliest
There's what it looks like
was
right now.
going with my father.
That's what it looks like
the
right
of the
now.
United States Capitol to see the casket.
Here's what I
of
want
John
to do.
F. Kennedy lying in state. And this
I just want to black it out.
memorial was dedicated in his
Just
honor
like they blacked out all those
because
Epstein documents
of the
yesterday.
fact he was a great
I
president.
just want to put a big
Also,
black bar across.
part of what made him a great president.
Somebody
was
needs.
recognizing
If
the
somebody's got
importance of the
scaffolding and
arts
can get
in
up
our
there and
culture.
do that, just put a
Donald
big
Trump
black
does not believe
banner
in the
across
arts,
his name right
and we
there.
will not allow him
Wouldn't that
to
be great?
soil the name of
Yes,
the
it
Kennedy
would.
Center.
That'd be so great.
I and my colleagues in
Stuart,
Congress
my
will be working
stepfather
to
was a
reverse
deputy
this.
sheriff. There's
The
lots we can
fact-
talk about. Get
the
on
important
Trail
amendment
Mix.
on the appropriations
We'll chat.
is the Interior Appropriations Bill to reverse this outrage. Are we going to do that together?
I love the homemade
You
signs.
know, there have been others in history who
There's
made
nothing.
monuments to themselves.
Rapid Response Choir. Do they sing?
Built statues all over
Where is
Italy
our
in
Congress
his name.
Rapid response fire.
Right now, they've come down.
I bet they
in the
do. They
dustbin
look,
of history,
I hope
and
they
this will
sing.
be in the dustbin of history. Donald Trump's name, and
Because these protesters have
this
been,
is a man.
by nature, they're creative because they're art. It's a group called something, the arts, Save the Arts. Anyway, so there are a lot of them Kennedy Center performers and so on.
And so what does he
So
do?
their protests have been kind of fun.
He puts his name next to that of John F. Kennedy to try to build himself up. Are we going to let that stand? Hell no, we're not going to let that stand. He's also somebody who wants to put his name.
Oh, here we got somebody,
right? I mean,
the Metal Whisperer. The Metal Whisperer. That's an interesting screen name.
Right?
That's great. Are you referring to my blackout at the Kennedy Center?
What Donald Trump
the Metal Whisperer.
Himself. He thinks he's
is that what you're referring to? Because here's what it looks like right now, and here's my proposal for what it should look like.
And it's up to us to
temporary until they can replace the blocks that were chiseled.
Yeah. Well, you know where I got this from somebody on Blue Sky. I posted this earlier on Blue Sky this morning. Of what they did yesterday. They finished this yesterday and unveiled it. And then somebody on Blue Sky took that image that I had posted right there and then got her Photoshop out and did this.
Well, it's interesting that they had all those letters ready to go the day after.
Well, see, that's the thing. This is what's making me crazy about the response to Trump is we knew he was going to do this. I mean, the minute he took office and in the first week took over the Kennedy Center board and put people like Steve Wynn on there, people, his pals, I knew then, okay, he's going to change the name. I really thought he'd get rid of the Kennedy name altogether. And then a week ago at the Kennedy Center Honors, he said he was going to call it the Trump Kennedy Center. So, Van Hollen here is sitting here hollering about, it's not going to stand. Why weren't they at the ready yesterday when they did this? They should have been in court yesterday challenging this because it's not lawful. I mean, they've got a federal statute that makes it clear only Congress can change the name of this place.
Right. Someone asked whether or not the Kennedys would file suit as interested parties. And apparently, because of the way it was created, they wouldn't have standing in court. It has to come from Congress.
Exactly. Yes. And because Joe Kennedy Jr. the third was asked last night about that on Anderson Cooper, and he made that point. He said, we don't think, as a family we can do it, but Congress certainly can. But there again, it's going to take, because Republicans control Congress, they're not going to be able to do an official, referral of contempt charges, which would be ridiculous because they'd be referring it to the Justice Department. So I mean, what's going to happen is, some Democrats are going to go to court and there'll be a question about whether they've got standing. But at least do it, get started.
At the end of the day, we'll fight them in the courts.
How? When?
But at the end of the day,
we're not waiting for the end of days. That's the problem.
It is all of you here who are going to protect our democracy. We, the people, are going to stand up and say hell no to the desecration of the Kennedy Center and hell no to Trump's efforts to tear up our Constitution and run down our democracy. We are better than that, and we will fight back, and we will prevail. It's great to see all of you here. Let's keep marching on until we succeed. Thank all of you.
Well, let's march to the courts, Senator, and file some paperwork right now. Go wake up some judges.
United will never be defeated. Thank you all. Let's stay united, and we will not be defeated. Valerie, let me turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much. Go back to the old ribbons with the rainbow stripes. I like that they're calling it the Kennedy dishonors.
Yeah. Oh, now Stewart's a Kennedy conspiracy theorist. I wouldn't rule it out, Stewart. Did you know, I've been thinking about with Rob Reiner getting killed, something he did in the last few years. He did that series of podcasts about the Kennedy assassination. Did you notice that? What I'm talking about is Rob Reiner. He really got deeply into, and I think he brought up what Stewart is here in that podcast.
It's pretty obvious that the son was the murderer. Now, what set him off? Apparently, they had gotten into an argument before.
Well, David said he saw something where they were saying he's schizophrenic.
Right.
That may be his lawyer. That may be his lawyer setting up an insanity defense. Oh, here's the drag queen. Hang on, let me get this. She did all the protests. She did all the protests.
DC drag performer who focuses on bringing joy, love, and hope. One of my great honors was to perform in a small venue at the Kennedy Center last year. Right? And then I actually popped onto a Dungeons and Dragons show, the 20-sided tavern.
We don't know about what.
Fabulous. I loved it. But, you know, I was so enraged earlier this year to hear about the hostile takeover of the board of directors here at the Kennedy Center. And that board is terrible. You know, a man who hadn't even stepped foot inside of this beautiful memorial until June for Les Mis, when some of my drag friends and I showed up to welcome him. Right? This man and his hand-picked board has no business deciding what art is or isn't. How shameful, immoral, and weak it is for this president to have his lackeys put his name above that of an assassinated president on that assassinated president's own memorial. Say that out loud. That's what he just did. How shameful. Shame. Shame. They also tried to ban drag from the Kennedy Center, but they will never silence our stories. That's right. Because our stories are stories of love, stories of family, stories of overcoming, stories of joy, stories of hardship, and stories of redemption.
Oh, Stewart doesn't like the drag queen.
American stories.
I've got a movie recommendation for you, Stewart.
Try to stop our stories.
Oh, I think drag queens are
We will
fun.
never stop telling our
They're fun. Yeah.
Now,
They're
the
very
Trump and his
creative
Republican
people.
administration has no bottom.
Have
no
you seen
road
the
that is
movie
too
Short
low.
Song
The list is
Trilogy?
too
It's
long
one of
to
my
name all of
favorites.
the atrocities,
Yeah, I actually went
missteps,
all the
and
play
shame.
on Broadway
And that's just the
too.
pictures from the
Oh,
recent
you
Vanity
did?
Fair profile.
Spread out over what, 2 nights, I think. It was long. I thought it was too long.
Well, I absolutely love it.
You know,
Harvey
these are
Firestein
shameful
got to
Yeah.
me
in American history.
right at the beginning with the
This man who's not
finger
only
over
in
his
any way, shape, or form
eyebrow
trying to distract
and
the world
nodding
with
up.
weakness.
That
He's using
that
his
one hooked
sycophants
me
on
in
the board
immediately.
to Union Bus and her Kennedy Center workers.
But it's
The board
a
who
good
now
movie
has
for
made
helping
of
others
political
understand
helping spread the joy
some of the issues.
They've hurt workers, performers, and artists, and financially devastated this memorial to an assassinated U.S. president. Make no mistake about it. This illegal overreach is serious. It also adds to a list of hurtful actions.
How do you get
The
a
reason
wig?
for bringing it up, Stuart, is they are performers,
What can we do?
and
Well, I'm here to tell you.
Plus,
don't lose
I mean,
hope.
look at that
There are
wig.
things that we
That's a
can
heck
do.
of
yeah,
a wig.
they can make a
Continue
point
to connect and come out to
because
protest.
people pay
If we
attention
support
to
the
them
Kennedy Center
as
workers who are telling us to
performers.
unionize. Yes. We can call our Congress people and demand that they take action to reverse this renaming. Demand that they release
No,
the
I-
Epstein files.
I
Demand
think
that they
I think it's
extend
intolerance
subsidies
of the
so Americans
people
are overwhelmed
that
even more with healthcare costs. Demand
on
that
the
instead of having
fringes
to focus on a
that tears us
narcissistic,
apart.
confused, decrepit old man's
I think the
delusion
people on the
of
fringes are
Congress focus
just fine to be
instead on
left alone and do their thing. But
from
Yeah.
ballrooms to tariffs.
Well,
I mean,
And
that,
what
what
was
tears
it
us
that
apart
our
is
and more affordable.
what was it our prospective vice president said? You know, just leave us the hell alone.
yeah.
And imagine something wonderful happening. I want you to
Things
imagine
go a
that
lot
your
smoother when you do that for other people.
in this
I will say this drag queen's talking too long.
Yes, too much. Oh, look at the inflatable pink frog.
Oh yeah.
I do this on all my gigs.
This is what I was wanting all along, because I didn't feel like going over there today. It's those other, I went to all those protests back in the fall when it was comfortable. I went to about 6 or 8 around here, including the big one where we had like 200,000 people. But now it's a little cold. And then I went to that, when I went up to Boston and you were on with me, we did the Burlington Mall in Boston, the ICE protest.
Right.
That was so cold, and I got a terrible cold after that. It would have been worse if I hadn't had Afrin with me.
I am blessed with a nose that is a barometer. And believe me, if the weather changes from dry to wet, or from hot to cold in a very short space of time, my nose instantly starts running. It's a major aggravation, but I can't predict the weather.
Have you ever tried Afrin? Because, man, it's got some downsides, but it works. It really works. It's very powerful. And it will stop that in its tracks. But it makes you a little bit loopy.
Yeah,
here's the choir. Oh, I wish they'd
Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Oh.
My name is Kelsey Mesa. I have worked at the Kennedy Center for 17 years.
Now these kind of people, they
let me
also
set the
need
scene
talking.
for you. I'm a theater person, so I'm going to set the scene for you. It is the mid-90s in Miami, Florida. The city is loud and colorful, and we do the conga at every single pool party. I am not loud and colorful. I am quiet and shy and nerdy. Oh, there we go. My father is a youth minister. I am a good girl who is painfully shy. I shrink when asked to speak, and I'm afraid of what other people think of me. And I have a secret. I want to be on stage. I want to be in the spotlight. I want to be in musicals. There's another girl at my church who has already introduced me to Hello Dolly and Oklahoma and Godspell. And in 4th grade, my class is going to do a unit on theater. This is perfect. My teacher asks for volunteers to read a scene, and I muster up every ounce of
Stuart,
courage
the drag queen isn't likely to kill you.
And then from a couple rows back, I hear my classmate
Unless
Andrea
you
say,
get in the way of her heels. We have every year at Halloween in my neighborhood. We have the high heel race with the drag queens. It is so funny. They race down the street in high heels.
I would learn that you do need more than actors in the theater.
Craig, I have to jump out. I've got things to do. I hope somebody comes in and joins you.
Going on. I need to wrap. Stuart. Now, Stuart, we're serious about inviting you to get over on trailmix.cc and try out. Just go over there and try it out. Make a comment. We'll respond. I really think
you'd enjoy it. Anyway, gotta go.
All right, so long, Jamie. All right, I'm gonna wind up here after an hour and 45 minutes. We finally got some of the Kennedy Center protest on here. We've had some good commenters to talk to. Jamie dropped in, so we're just gonna wrap it up.
It totally is, but it is also a launching
And
for the next
our next chat is not yet scheduled.
My program,
but
with colleges and universities across the
you
country.
can go to trailmix.cc/chat. we've got a page, or you can click it in the sidebar at trailmix.cc. And there you can go and see our next chat schedule and find the link to click to get an alert. I send out alerts whenever we go live with our chats as well. So Stuart, we hope to see you over on the website. I'm back here sometime, and that's all we got for today from Trail Mix Live.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.